Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om Sumukascha Ekadantascha Kapilo Gajakarnakaha Lambodharascha Vikato Vignarajo Vinayakaha Dhumaketurganadhyakshaha Palachandro Gajananaha Vakratundaha Surpakarno Herambah Skandapurvajaha Suklambaradharam Vishnum Sasivarnam Chaturbhujam Prasannavadanam Dhyayet Sarva Vignopasantaye Yasyattiradavaktradhya Parishadhya Parastatam Vigham Nidhanti Satatam Vishvaksenam Tamasraye Guru Brahma Guru Vishnu Guru Devo Maheswaraha Guru Sakshat Parabrahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Satchidananda Rupaya Krishnaya Aklishtakarine Namo Vedanta Vedhyaya Gurave Buddhi Sakshine Krishnadvaipaya Namdyasam Sarvabhuta Hiteratam Vedabcha Bhaskaram Vande Samadhi Nilayam Munim Narayanam Namaskritya Naranchaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudirijet. Namaskaram, with Bhagavan's grace. Let us now continue with Slokam number 16. Skandam 2, chapter 6. Brahma is describing to Narada the cosmic form of where this invisible entity, which is very much present, it's a real entity, that is the only entity. Where is it present in this universe, in the manifested creation? How can we imagine it to be present as a Purusha? That we described. Now, Brahma is going to describe the Tripada Purusha. The Purushottam says the invisible entity that is beyond all the manifested beings, all the manifestations. It's beyond the manifested, beyond the creation, right? That he is going to describe now, starting in Slokam number 16. And 16 through 21, with Bhagavan's grace, we will take up today. And the basic meaning is, so that you can follow the Sanskrit Slokams when we take it up. Meaning is, Bhagavan, this Parama Purusha, he is the cause for all this. It pervades all, but transcends it, goes beyond it. It's Atitaya Namaha, is beyond it. Now, how is it so? Just as the sun illumines itself and also spreads everywhere outside by its heat and light. So the same way, this Paramatma, this Parama Purusha, is the universal spirit in the universe, also transcends it. Now he exists in the cosmic form, and he reveals himself in everything, inside and outside. There is no exception to this. And the thing is, we are taken away by something else, but including a speck of dust, a stone or a leaf or a table or a piece of carpet or a human being, whatever you see, everything is Bhagavan only, both inside and outside. And because that is the effulgence. Without the effulgence, nothing shines, right? The effulgence in there is Bhagavan. And he is immortal and also fear. He's Abhayam. Abhayam means where when you have fear, then you have an absence of fear. But where there is no fear at all, that state, the fearlessness, is what Bhagavan is. And he is free from all the changes that take place in the material world and the created world. Now, all the beings, including you and me, we all dwell in him. We all live in him. Please remember that. He is the indweller, yes, very much so. But we are the ones who are actually dwelling in him, because it's like a cosmic womb in which we are all living, as we covered in one of the earlier sessions. And then, even though he is within and without, and even though we are living in him, he is beyond all the manifested world. He's not the least bit affected by all the changes, all the ups and downs, the tribulations, the various 6 changes that we all go through. Bhagavan is not touched by it because he is Sat Chit Ananda. The changes all happen to the Rupa and the Nama, the name and the form. they are the ones that go through changes. The Satchit Anandam, which is fundamental to the Rupam and Namam, that remains constant and changeless. Now, there are 7 lokams that we saw. Om Bhuhu, Om Bhuvaha, Om Suvaha, Om Magaha, Om Jagaha, Om Tapaha, Om Satyam is what we say in preparation for before reciting Gayatri Mantra. These 7 lokas are, each loka is not a physical thing. It is a plane of awareness. If I am aware, I'm living on this planet, so I call this as Bhulokam, right? Now, when I live on the worlds created by my mind, right, then that is Bhuvarlokam. Now, Suvarlokam is where it is awareness of happiness, awareness of joy, of bliss. And when we come to a joy that has no cause, no reason behind it, that is Bhagavan. Okay, all our joys and happinesses all have a reason behind it. So when there is no reason, the causeless joy is Parabrahma. So that the Suvarlokam is the level of awareness that we have in the world of happiness. Okay. Now beyond that, there is Maharlokam is there, Janalokam is there, Tapolokam is there, and Satyalokam is there. So the Brahma continues, those people who have followed very strict discipline and abstained themselves with all the desires and all that we are all pulled by, and especially those brahmacharis, the vanaprasthas, and the sannyasis who have undertook and conducted themselves according to this discipline, according to tapas, they reach the plane of consciousness, awareness, the worlds beyond the Maharlokam, the Janalokam, the Tapolokam, and the Satyalokam. People like Angirasa Rishi and those rishis they're all living in Tapolokam. Now, when there is Pralayam, as Patanjali Sutra says, they all move to the Satyalokam. Okay, that's a world of awareness, plane of awareness of Brahma, consciousness of Brahma. Now, those of us who do not, the Grahasthas and others who do not follow the disciplines, we are confined to the 3 lokams, the Bhulokam, Bhuvarlokam, and Suvarlokam. Now, from time immemorial, beginning of time, the Jivatma that has taken an embodiment, right, and thinks and dilutes itself into limiting itself to the body and the mind, that has been going along 2 paths. One is a path of seeking worldly pleasures, and the other is the path of seeking freedom from the worldly pleasures, which is transient, and seeking the permanent bliss. Both are actually are sanctioned by the divine, so to speak. In other words, both pathways, Bhagavan is present. The choice is up to me. Okay, there is nothing that is devoid of Bhagavan's presence. Now, this entity, this Bhagavan, from whom this cosmic womb, the cosmic shell has come about, and who's manifesting in myriad ways in the universe and the created world, all categories that you can think of as 8.4 million varieties of beings are there, right? All of them. He is a supreme being. While he's manifesting himself like this, appearing as a cosmic womb in which everything is there, but he is beyond all that. He stands above, transcends all of this, and he illumines all his manifestations. But for his illumination, this is self-illumination, which is what we're going to start talking about in Slokam 16, which is self-illumination. Without that, we can't perceive anything, not only with our eyes, but also with our ears and all of the organs. Things have to be effulgent in order for us to perceive in this created world. And he's the one who's illuminating all this. And everything is his manifestation only. Nothing is exception to that. Everything is his manifestation only. Please remember, even a speck of sand is Bhagavan. Okay? And that is the teaching here. And the same way the sun illumines the world, but also transcends it. So this is the message from teachings from Slokams 16 through 21. Now let us take up Slokam 16. Swadhishnyam pratapan pranaha bahihi cha Swadhishnyam pratapan pranaha bahihi cha pratapati asau evam virajam pratapan tapati antaha bahihi puman. Swadhishnyam pratapan pranaha bahischa pratapati asau evam virajam pratapan tapati antaha bahihi puman. Puman, the supreme being, Bhagavan, Swadhishnyam, which is self-illuminated. Where is the Jyoti come from? The sun is illuminated, the effulgent, the light of the sun comes from Bhagavan. We have covered this many times. Scientifically, we say the fusion reaction takes place, okay? And therefore, the heat comes and therefore the light comes. But that is our understanding of what we see. But where is the light coming from? Just because there is a fusion reaction, is what we call a fusion reaction, the origin of it. That is Bhagavan's self-illumination. And so self-illuminated and pratapan pranaha, he is present. Another, pratapan is a very important word. Expansion is life, okay? And the nature of prema is expansion only, okay? It cannot contract. And contraction is actually death. Selfishness is nothing but death. So the expanding our heart, expanding our mind to include everybody in our work, in our family, that kind of an attitude is natural. That is what modus operandi is. That is taught to us by this word pratapan. Bhagavan, who is self-illuminating and self-radiation, is pratapan, always expanding by expansion. And pranaha as a life force, bahihi cha, bahihi, in all the external world, everything is illuminated, right, isn't it? So in all the external world, pratapati asau. Asau means the sun. And how does the sun illuminate? The sun is, when we look at it in a limited way, it looks like sun is self-illuminated, but it is also illuminating everything else in the sky, on the earth, and then in various planets and all that, right? So the same way, Bhagavan is self-illuminating, but he is the one who is actually illuminating all the things in the creation. Evam virajam pratapan. In this way, the virajam, the whole universe, the prapancham, pratapan is illuminated. And tapati is a beautiful word. The tapati actually means it also purifies, it also enlivens, it also gives it a life force. So everything becomes active and lively. That tapati. Antaha bahihi puman. This Parama Purusha, who is illuminating the whole creation as a Virata Purusha, also illuminates all the things, both inside and outside, in that process, purifying and enlivening all the created objects, created things, the 8.4 million types of creations in the universe. Okay? So, Swadhishnyam pratapan pranaha bahihi cha pratapati asau evam virajam pratapan tapati antaha bahihi puman. Number 17. Saha amrutasya abhayasya isaha martyam annam yat atyagat mahima yesha ataha brahman purushasya duratyayaha. How is it possible? This is Tripada Purushan. Okay? Atya tishta dasangulam is what Purushottam says. Exactly the same point. It's beyond all this. Atyagata means beyond. Saha, that Purushan, that Parama Purusha, Amrutasya is eternal, immortal. No birth, no death. Abhayasya is where the sense of fear doesn't arise. Fear comes, as Taittiriya Upanishad says, only when I separate myself from myself. Only when I have two identities, okay, then I have fear. But if there is only oneness everywhere, where is the question of fear? The concept of fear itself doesn't arise. Fearlessness, abhayasya, Isaha, the Lord, the Master. Martyam annam yat atyagat. Yat, which one? The Paramapurusha. Atyagat goes beyond, transcends martyam, death, annam, food. See, we all take annam. Annam we think is something to give us nutrition, to enable us to live. But actually, when we take annam, annam is the one that's actually eating us. The annam has got two meanings. One that gives us nutrition to live, because all the beings need annam, food in some form. But the food that I take is also eating me, because my time is also slowly getting depleted. Okay, so but Bhagavan is beyond annam, transcends food, and also transcends death. Yes, Mahima Yesha, all this is his glory. Tataha, Brahman, O Narada, is saying that Tataha, that Purushasya, that Purusha, Duratyayaha, Atyatishtat Dasangulam, Duratyayaha, he is immeasurable. You cannot measure him, you cannot conceive of him, you cannot imagine him in your mind, and you cannot perceive him with your senses. You cannot measure him, period. He is immeasurable. Duratyayaha. How can you measure prema? Tell me, impossible. You can only experience it. And anything that is measured falls into two limitations. One is you have to draw the boundary around it so that you can measure it. Second is, by drawing the boundary on it, you understand it with the limitations of our mind. So, but Bhagavan is beyond all this. Therefore, he is immeasurable, he is amrutaha, he is abhayaha, he is isaha, martyam annam atyagate. He is beyond the death, beyond the food, and mahima yeva. All this glory that you see, all this is only his glory, his greatness. Saha amrutasya abhayasya isaha martyam annam yat atyagate. Mahima yeva tataha brahman purushasya duratyayaha. Number 18. Padeshu sarva bhutani pumsaha kiti padaha viduhu amrita kshemam abhayam kiri murdhanaha adhavi murdhasu. Padeshu sarva bhutani pumsaha kiti padaha viduhu amrita kshemam abhayam kiri murdhanaha adhavi murdhasu. Now this pumsaha, this supreme being, is Bhagavan. Padeshu sarva bhutani sthiti padaha. One aspect of him. This is all ekapada purusha. This purusha Sukha says exactly the same. Padeshu, one aspect. Pada here does not mean foot. It is one aspect of him. It's not even correct to say it's one part. It's one part and 1/4 and 3/4 and all this. It doesn't exist. Because you cannot, it's indivisible. But prema is indivisible. Sweetness is indivisible. And experience, any experience we have is indivisible. You cannot divide it or multiply it. Okay? It is what it is. And the padeshu sarva bhutani sthiti padaha. The one aspect of it is present in all the sarva bhutani, all the beings. In which way? Sthiti padaha. It is present as the reservoir for all of us, even though we move about, do all the things we think, I have achieved this, I have done this, I've done something great or whatever. The sthiti padaha, the reservoir in which we are all operating, is only Bhagavan. Only Bhagavan. Okay? Sthiti padaha. But that viduhu, understand it this way, know it. This is the truth. Padeshu sarva bhutani puntaha sthiti padaha viduhu. So when you understand it, when you know it, and remind yourself, where is the question of pride, and where is the question of self-condemnation, where is the question of getting exalted at achieving something. There's no question of achievement also. Okay, this achievement and all is a mirage. So sthiti padaha, all this is Bhagavan's reservoir. Please understand. Amrutam kshemam abhayam. Now, in this world, where this one aspect, the ekapada purusha. Now, Trimurdanaha, the Adhayi Murdhasu, the in this material world we all live in. Okay? Bhagavan is present as a reservoir of everything. Our energy, Ichha Shakti, Kriya Shakti, Jnana Shakti, whatever you want to call it. You think I have invented something, I'm thinking of a great idea. Everything, whatever I do, right, is Bhagavan's reservoir only. Now, then Trimurdhanaha Adhayi Murdhasu. The in Trimurdhanaha, beyond the three three worlds with Om Bhulokam, Bhuvarlokam, Suvarlokam. We talked beyond those three, Murdhasu, beyond this material beings there, Adhayi exists. What? Amrutam, Kshemam, Abhayam. The immortality, the eternal. Kshemam, complete protection, absolute absence of fear. And Abhayam, the fearlessness. All these are present beyond the material world. Padeshu sarva bhutani pumsaha stitipadaha viduhu amritam kshemam abhayam trimurdhanaha adhayi murdhasu. Number 19. Padaha trayoho bahihi cha asan aprajanam yaha asramaha antah trilokasyaha tu aparaha virha medho abruh druvratah abruhat pratah padaha trayoho bahihi cha asan aprajanam yaha asramaha antah trilokasyaha tu aparaha griha medho abruhat pratah. Now, padaha trayoho bahihi cha asan aprajana and yaha asramaha. Aprajana, people who are birthless. So the padaho trayoho, the first one is also padaha, previously padeshu ekapada. The tripada purushan, the one, the aspect of prema that is beyond our material world, of our world of perception, it is really in the realm of experience. Okay, when you experience selfless love, it automatically takes you to the worlds beyond the three worlds that we are used to. Even our Svargalokam that we talk in, Bhulokam, Bhuvarlokam, and Suvarlokam, that happiness is only temporary. We go through all the three lokas all the time, every day. Okay, many times. And so sometimes we are happy, then the happiness goes away, then we become miserable. So that means from Svargalokam we are back to Bhulokam. That's what it means. So the Tripadam, the three aspects of Bhagavan that is manifested in Aprajanam Yaha Asramaha, where people who do not take birth, where they are living, take residence in, take shelter in, Antaha Trilokasyaha tu Aparaha, the other people, they live in those three worlds, which is Tapoloham, Janaloham, Tapoloham, and Satyaloham, where Griha, Medho, Abruhat, Prutaha. Now, the Aprajanam, let us take that, so I wanted to explain to you word by word. Aprajanam, Asramaha Asan, okay, the people who have the beings, who have not taken, who are birthless, but who are also highly disciplined, they live in the Tripada portion, Padaha Trayoho Bhagihi, the external, where Bhagavan is manifested. The three aspects of Bhagavan are manifested. In other words, they become more and more loving, more and more selfless, less and less desire. The desires actually are gone away. It is that kind of an experience state is what Brahma is describing, so we can understand in our colloquial word. Antaha Trilokasyaha tu. Now, so the Aprajanam, people who are disciplined, who follow especially the discipline of containing themselves from worldly pleasures and worldly desires. Okay, those people are in a higher, superior level of happiness and bliss. Aparaha, the other people who abruhat vrataha, people who do not follow the discipline without they strictly following the discipline, they are the griha medho. They are attached to family life, okay, and they don't follow the prescribed discipline way of life. They don't do tapas. They still have lots of desires and all that. What do? They all live in the Trilokasyaha. Here, Bhulokam, Bhuvarlokam, and Suvarlokam. That is where they live. So, and this case in Taittiriya Upanishad also, as you give up more and more desires, you actually rise up to higher levels and of existence, higher levels of living, higher levels of consciousness, and higher levels of awareness. Okay, and that is where the expansion takes place. So, Griha Medho, people who are attached to family life, Abruhat Vrtaha, people who do not follow the prescribed principles, the prescribed disciplines. So, Aparaha, those people are the other people who do this way. Trilokasyaha Antaha. So, but Trilokasyaha, Bhulokam, Bhuvarlokam, Suvarlokam is what they live. Number 20. Shruti Vichakrame Visvat Sasana Anasane Ubhe Yat Avidyacha Vidyacha Purushaha tu Ubhaya Astrayaha. Shruti Vichakrame Visvat Sasana Anasane Ubhe Yat Avidyacha Vidyacha Purushaha tu Ubhaya Astrayaha. Now, we all live in this world. We have a certain destination, right? All the living beings, whether human beings to our earth home, everything that is living has got a final destination. And that destination exists in a very comprehensive manner, in a very clear manner, very clearly understood. Okay? And in the whole Vishwam, Vishwat means in the whole universe, not only limited to human beings, but everything. What is the destination? There are only two. Sasana, Anasane, Ubhe. Ubhe means two. Sasana, Anasana. This comes in Purushottam also. Now, Sasana means those living beings, they seek only temporary pleasures. Okay? Worldly pleasures, you can call them. I get the pleasure, I achieve something. At that moment, the pleasure I'm enjoying is actually the pleasure of Sargalokam. But then it is temporary, so I come back to my Bhulokam and whatever I go through. So, Sasana, the living beings, one of them seeks only worldly pleasures. Anasana means then the beings who actually seek the permanent eternal bliss. Okay, these are the two destinations. Put it in a very comprehensive manner in this universe. Yet, avidyacha vidyacha sasana, when I seek material pleasures, temporary pleasures, that is pulled by ignorance, avidya. When I seek eternal, permanent bliss, then that I'm pulled by vidya, the seeker of knowledge. Okay? Yet avidyacha vidyacha purushaha tu ubhaya astrayaha. This Parama Purusha, this Bhagavan, the Supreme Being, ubhaya, but whichever way I take, Bhagavan, ubhaya, for both of them, astrayaha, he is the one who's protecting me, guarding me and taking me along the path I have chosen, not he. It is my choice. I can choose the sasana path, I can choose the anasana path. I can choose the temporary pleasure path, I can choose the permanent bliss path. I can choose the path of not proper disciplined life, or I can choose a path of very well developed and strict disciplined life. So this, whichever path I take, Okay, Bhagavan, the same Purusha, is the one who is Asraya, who is protecting both paths. Number 21. Yasmat andham virada jagne bhuta indriya guna atmakaha tat dravyam atyagate visvam gobihi surya iva atapanne. Yasmat andham virada jagne bhuta indriya guna atmakaha tat dravyam atyagate visvam gobihi surya iva atapanne. Now, here, so Bhagavan, this Tripada Purusha, is manifested himself, but at the same time there's an unmanifested part of him, right? And the different levels of consciousness and awareness and corresponding bliss have been explained. Right? Bhur-bhuva Swaha, the three lokams we live in, the bliss is only temporary, happiness is only temporary. So if I want to rise up to the higher levels, then I got to follow that path with the discipline and all that. But Bhagavan is beyond all this. While he's manifested and present, but he is very much beyond. That's what he says. Yasmat, by which way Andam, this whole cosmic egg, so to speak, cosmic universe, this Virada Andam, this cosmic Purusha, Jagne has appeared. How this manifested universe has appeared so huge, right? Considered as a cosmic womb, if you would. Bhuta Indriya Guna Atmakaha. This whole manifested creation has got beings, has got senses, has got mind, has got characteristics, and has got bodies, physical various different forms. And that Purusha, Dravyam Atyagate, it is beyond all the things that have been manifested. Okay. Now, how is it, sir? The Surya, the sun, Gobihi with its effulgence, it is while it is effulgent, it is also Atapanna, distributing its heat and light through the whole Vishwam, through the universe, isn't it? Like that, Bhagavan, this is a physical example. Don't think Bhagavan is physically outside the universe. No. He is very much present as the effulgence, as Prema, but that is also beyond the manifested world. Yasmat andam virata jagne bhuta indriya guna atmakaha tad dravyam atyagate visvam gobihi surya iva atapanne. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Samasta lokaha sukhino bhavantu. Samasta lokaha sukhino bhavantu. Samasta lokaha sukhino bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om.